I mean, to put it in perspective, we could have done it at Gen Con. We didn't. We could have did it at PAX Unplugged. We didn't. We're not going to touch it.
I'm going to open 2-3 boxes for every set, and that's it.
How many
Let's
boxes
see.
of the first chapter do we open?
About 65 boxes of Chapter 1.
There's a lot of decks that I feel like are not being tested.
Really haven't committed to the game, and it's not for a lack of trying from our end. Like, I'm constantly trying to push, the different stores to try and work with them, to try and fire events, and
I can see that, yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone? My name is Earlmeister, and this is the Loremeisters podcast. This week's episode will be a bit different since this is the first episode of this podcast where there are two people behind this YouTube channel, and that is Scott and Dan of the Forbidden Mountain. Scott and Dan began their journey as rivals in World of Warcraft, meeting each other in many finals of local regional qualifiers and Realm of Championships. Eventually, they became teammates and went on to have career years in WoW TCG. And from being teammates, they eventually became best friends through their love of gaming, traveling together, and starting multiple content channels. Now, they are also running a business, going through life together, where tough times feel much easier with a trusted partner beside you. And when the rules of Lorcana were revealed, they saw similarities to World of Warcraft TCG and knew they would love and admire the mechanics of the game and decided to go all in. Now, let's get to know them separately. Scott has 35 years of experience in card games. A former Pro Tour Magic player who is qualified for Pro Tour 1, Scott made his name in World of Warcraft trading card games as a player and writer for the company. He has played many other games at a successful rate in his TCG career. He was a data analyst at Vanguard for 20 years and has owned an online card shop for over 5 years now. He's a world traveler, dog dad, and a Disney enthusiast. Dan, on the other hand, has 25 years of gaming experience. He started with the 90s hits of Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Magic the Gathering, but didn't go pro to World of Warcraft TCG. His claim to fame is winning the World Championship for Transformers trading card game in 2019. He works for IATSC as a rigger, married his high school sweetheart, father of two, a Marvel mega fan, lover of Frozen and Encanto, and of course, content creation. How's it going, everyone? We're finally here with the Forbidden Mountain crew. I can't believe it. First of all, I just want to say thank you very much for accepting this invite. It's an honor and pleasure to have you guys in this podcast. How are you guys doing today?
Great. Thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I was really happy to see you reach out to us and want to have a chat. I love having chats about Lorcana.
Yeah, same, and that's exactly what we're gonna do today. First, I usually try to get to know you a little bit more. Those are some pretty impressive what do you call this info that you guys sent me to create that intro. That's a lot of gaming experience, especially first of all, being a champion in the Transformer TCG. That's very impressive. Participating on the first Pro Tour and Magic, that's gotta be a really, really cool experience. You're one of the OGs.
Oh yeah, definitely go way back.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He loves to brag that he has a 4-digit DCI code for anyone that understands what that means.
I don't know what that is, so enlighten me.
All right.
So there were the duelist convocation in number back in the day.
Okay.
And the first 1,000 were all employees, and then I'm 1742, so I'm like the 742nd registered Magic player in the world.
Oh, that is
like of all time.
That is so cool.
And the numbers are like, I think it's 7 digits now or something like that. So.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys have been playing card games ever since you guys were kids. I've always wanted to get into card games. We were just talking for the audience. I was talking to Dan about I was born in Philippines, and we were pretty poor. We lived in a farm. farm in a province. We didn't have much, so card games was out of the question. Although we had like some bootleg version of Yu-Gi-Oh, where the numbers and the stars are like over the top. You know, it's like 100,000 damage. So how we played it is like, all right, we'll split the deck in two. You put your bet in front with whichever you think has the most stars on it, and then we'll flip it, and then we'll take your cards if we win.
It's like war, you know? Like, it's fine. You just flip your guys and say, yeah, that one's cooler looking.
It's a 50-50 chance. And the cards were so cheap. I remember there were like 10, 15 pesos, which is like probably like 5-10 pence. And or 20 cents, 15 cents
right.
In the US. I'm starting to get the UK like prices now instead of dollars. You know, slowly but surely moving to that. And I want to talk about World of Warcraft TCG. I didn't know it exists until like about a year ago, but I never like actually like look into it before, because I've always thought that the TCG for Warcraft was Hearthstone, or well, it's a CCG. So is it something similar to Hearthstone, or is it completely different?
All the art's the same.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, basically, when World of Warcraft ceased to exist, Hearthstone was created. So like in the last 6 to probably 12 months of World of Warcraft, they were working on Hearthstone. So it wasn't very long after World of Warcraft trading card game was removed that Hearthstone came to existence, which is a key reason why I never ever liked it, because it took my favorite game from me.
That's so weird. Why they didn't just create a digital version of World of Warcraft TCG? Like, why create a whole new game?
I mean, the game was definitely digital friendly, so they could have, but you know, I guess there's a lot more contracts and negotiations with that and all that fun stuff. So you know, may as well go with the new.
The license ran out for the company that had World of Warcraft, and Blizzard just took it back. So
oh damn that's always so weird. Like, business can be so weird, and you know, there's so many people affected, not just the people that works there. It's the people that those games touched. They're affected, and I am a victim of this. I would say a victim, because I played so many, especially in digital card game world. A lot of the games exist for like 2-3 years, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Like, Legends of Runeterra recently announced that they're still around, but it's not going to be the same game anymore. Yeah. And that's so sad. But I am very hopeful for Lorcana, because Lorcana is doing great right now, and you know, it's Disney. The worst thing that could happen is they stop this like in 5 years, which I doubt they will. The game is great. The gameplay is really, really good, and there's just so much content to cover. It's the perfect like brand, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the stuff in this set. Like, it's like characters that I like forgot existed in a way. So like,
yeah.
The
like,
IP is deep.
Like the DuckTales. Like, I forgot about that. Like, I don't think about that anymore. You know.
No.
And there's so many like classics as well. Like, I love the whole Sorcerer's Apprentice vibe with the release of the tower and more brooms. You know, I wonder if there's ever gonna be like an ultra megatonic broom deck eventually, where everything is just like the sorcerer and the broom. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they're already releasing multiple brooms in this set alone, so it might just be a tradition that every set gets another one, you know, like another flavor of it. So yeah, it's definitely possible.
Yeah. Before we get in deep into Lorcana, do you guys still play any card games, or is there other card games, or is there anything that you're looking forward to in the future, or it's just fully focused on Lorcana right now?
All in Lorcana, 24/7.
100%. It's like literally our entire lives.
Nice, nice. Well, I'm not gonna say the full Discord name, but there's Star Wars in your name, and I've seen the new Star Wars card game. Is that something you're not even gonna check out or dabble on at all?
I
No.
played other Star Wars games from that company, and I don't have a lot of trust in that company, so I can't go back to the well any more than I already have for that company.
Yeah, I mean, to put it in perspective, we could have done it at Gen Con. We didn't. We could have did it at PAX Unplugged. We didn't. We're not going to touch it.
Nice. I love it. I love the dedication to Lorcana, and I'm fully dedicated on it too. Although I'm one of those people that if I don't have like a secondary thing, I get burned out. So that's why I do like to either it's a video game or a card game, and I can't decide, and I'm not trying to decide anytime soon because I'm fully occupied with the Lorcana. But eventually, I'm gonna pick up something, and I'm not gonna put in not even close to the time that I'm putting in Lorcana. But I just want to prevent that from happening because I have experienced that in the past, and I'm very self-aware of that when it comes to that type of stuff. Yeah. All right. So I want to talk about like your guys' collection. How much do you guys collect? Like, do you get a master set for every set? Do you have a full play set, or do you just kind of have like a budget? Like, all right, I'm gonna open 2-3 boxes for every set, and that's it.
Yeah, no. We
How many boxes of first chapter do we open?
About 65 boxes of Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Chapter 2 is less than that. I think Chapter 2 is around 55. And we already have a quite large pre-order for Into the Inklings. So
64 boxes, I think.
Yeah, 64 boxes is the I wasn't going to say it, but yeah, so
God. Well, let me just get this clear, but that's also because you guys have an online card business, right? Like, so
right.
Yeah, you can afford to actually do that. I just want to say, for our viewers, if you are a regular person like me and you do not have a card shop online or a local game store, do not freaking open that unless you're a millionaire, you know, unless you're a millionaire or a billionaire. And because I know Mr. Reese is into this as well, and he spends like 10 grand, you know, getting a bunch of boxes. That's all right. If you are like me, do not do it.
No. But the good news is, like, when we do things like that, like, we're able to, like, tell people, like, hey, this is the average that you should buy to be happy with where you're at.
Yeah.
Which is nice because a lot of people do like buying packs, and they like the most common question we always get is like, well, how many boxes do I need for a playset? And the answer is always dramatically more than anyone assumes. So like that's kind of part of the problem is like nobody really wants to go and buy 12 boxes of Lorcana just to have a playset of everything, because then you have a million extras that you like don't know what to do with accurately. So, but yeah, no, we're crazy. We'll be spending that entire weekend opening, organizing, and so
yeah, because I opened 4 boxes in total for set 2, and that was not enough to complete it, but very close to completing it.
Yeah.
So the extras, that's like the fun part for me. Is the extras. It's like my kind of like my currency, and I go to so many LGS. I attend 2 LGS at least every week for local leagues and tournaments. I enjoy that a lot, and I was actually streaming and still planning to do in the future my Friday night games. And what do you call this? And I use the extra cards as currency for trading to complete that set, and that's part of the fun. That's part of the experience for me. But yeah, I actually just pre-ordered my first box tonight, and I'm going to London with Pavel, Lorcana decklist, and Lorcana villain.
Event.
Yep, we're gonna have a pre-release event, so we're
a sweet event. I'm jealous.
Well, you guys go to a lot of like conventions. I'm really jealous, and I miss that being in the U.S. There's so many events in the U.S.
Well, I can tell you for sure that Scott and I will be making a travel across the pond for something this year. Like, it's going to happen.
Nice.
We're very, very excited to travel like internationally for the game. So when OP is announced and we know why we're going where, you can plan on seeing the Forbidden Mountain there for sure.
I'm excited. Well, spoilers alert. The guys that I'm hanging out with in London, we're actually gonna do a live podcast because I've always
Nice.
I watched so many podcasts throughout the years, and I love that vibe of like being actually there, you know. And I want to do that. So if you guys ever come down to the US and you enjoyed this podcast that we're doing right now, or EU, I meant, we should definitely do something like that too.
Yeah, no, it's like it's really great that we can do this, right? Like that we can have this conversation, that it's we can share it with everybody, but there's nothing better than being in the like at Gen Con. There were so many of the content creators in the game all in one place, just shooting it, just having a good time. So I look forward to it for sure.
That sounds like fun. And have a lunch or dinner after the event. I like that. Because I have done that in other games before, and I enjoy that. I met so many friends going to conventions. I meet my online friends there, and then meet some more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How? Speaking of conventions, how was the convention that you guys just attended?
TCG was a lot of fun. It was really well run. I mean, I can't say this enough. The community for the game is like surreal. Everybody is so incredible. And we're talking like from like a player stand side, from just like a random conversation like on the side of the tournament. Like everything about it is really great. This community is very, very welcoming, which I think is just great in general, because I've been a part of a lot of card gaming communities over the years, and I don't think there's ever been one that's like been this accepting of pretty much any level of player, which I think is really, really important.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, at least the online communities can be very hardcore sometimes, because there are so many keyboard warriors, right?
Oh yeah.
They always just speak their mind, because like they can say whatever the heck they want, and no one knows who they are, like behind their username. But I feel like even though that's the case in Twitter, at least everyone is so nice, and I love that, and
Sure.
And everyone who goes to all these conventions and expos and meetups, everyone says the same thing. The community is freaking awesome, and I look forward to attending my first one. I can't wait, honestly. And speaking of that, the circuit is coming up soon, so I'm guessing that you guys are going to attend every single one of them.
Yeah, our goal is to go to all of the regionals or larger events that are within a decent distance. Like, we don't know what the regionals is going to be like.
Yeah.
But assuming that it's like within 4 or 5 hours driving distance, we plan on going to all of those, and then definitely to like nationals. And if they allow us to play in both like the US side and international, we'd probably go to both of those as well.
Yeah, they probably will, right? Because they do that with Pokemon, and everyone travels around the world, and they do that with Pokemon. So it would be so weird that pretty much every card game allows everyone to do that, and then Lorcana for some reason would just like say that no, you can't do that.
I think that like the write up for the first announcement did say that like your regionals will qualify for your continentals.
Yeah.
So like there might be some gap, but like even if there's like a reason to go to the other one, like just for some other event, some other side event, like there's still a chance that we would probably do that anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm like, unfortunately, we don't have the information yet, so we don't know. But it's definitely a goal this year to try and do as many as possible.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm planning to do the same thing, and I've mentioned this before. I have a dream of casting on one of the events, or hosting, or being a part of basically the presentation, side of things. But if I don't get that, I'm still gonna go as a competitor, because I love competing as well. I just enjoy like pretty much the whole scenario of things, and I think it's a win-win going to these events, because you get to hang out, like what I said, with people, and even if you lose, they would have side events. I'm assuming that they would have a lot of side events, just like Pokemon does as well. But
yeah, I think so.
I also was talking about this. I went to Pokemon's International for the EU one last year in London. It was a lot of fun, but I was a little underwhelmed because obviously it was a competition type of thing. So there's a big area for TCG, big area for their VGC, and then there's one for like the League of Legends version of the thing of Pokemon, and then there's a bunch of shops in the back, and there's an area for side event which is like drafts, sealed, and all that stuff, and even constructed as well on the side, but I was expecting more than just shops, side events, and the main events. Like, I wanted more. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe like stalls where you can do other activities, you know? And I was talking to B Squared with this, and I was like, I hope that they do that or we both agree that they should do that for Lorcana, because there's a lot of like casual players as well. And I don't want anyone to feel left out. Because like some people might not join side events because even though it's a side event, it still can be very competitive. And
oh yeah, totally.
People would want some activities, like maybe teach us how to make popsicles, you know? I don't know if that's something you guys look forward to.
At PAX Unplugged, they had they had designed like this entire like multiplayer event that was going on during the main event of Saturday. So
Okay.
like, and it was designed to have like these different rule sets and kind of like different goals and stuff like that. So like they've already definitely been testing the waters with that, that we've been able to see firsthand. Because we're fortunate enough that PAX Unplugged is in our home city, so we just had to drive our car 20 minutes down the road and
That's so
enjoy
nice.
it, but it is
so
nice.
nice.
It's very nice. So yeah, I can't see them not doing that. They're definitely very, very casual friendly. Even if you just have like gigantic league night, at it, because that's like a way for people to come and enjoy the game. I totally see them doing it, but like you said, like make a popsicles, whatever, like that's cool.
Yeah.
That's different.
Or like a movie area or a karaoke area. Yeah. It's freaking Disney. There's so many songs that we sang growing up,
All right, let's not get carried away. All right, we're all gonna there's too many people with phones, the internet. No, we don't want none of that.
I'm Filipino. I have to. It's a big part of my culture. It's what we do on parties. We do karaoke's.
All right.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, so in local game stores, do you guys go a lot to participate on leagues at all, or you kind of like keep to yourself since there's two of you? You guys can always play with each other. How often do you guys go to the local LGSs?
I can't go most of the time. I just have too much work commitments, so I can't go during the week.
Okay.
And that's usually when they happen. If they happen, I know it's surprising. Like, we live in a really big city, but like the leagues just don't fire all that often. So the couple times that we have gone, it doesn't go that well. So like the tournament scene here within our like an hour, 2 hour driving distance is great.
Yeah.
But like the local league for us, first of all, it's during the week, I can't go. But even if not, it sometimes just doesn't even fire.
Like there's not enough people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Especially
weird.
in like on our side of the bridge, like across the bridge, about like a half hour away in New Jersey, there's one store that's on average getting like 20 to 40 players on a weekend, which is fine, but it's like hyper casual, like so very casual that like you don't even have like a tournament setting. It's like just sit down and pick a random person and then play 3 people and then get a pack. Like that's what it is. So while that's great for people that they're into that, like for me, who like if I want to go and I want to, I don't know, get some reps in for an upcoming tournament, it's not really the setting to do that.
Yeah.
So it's actually really weird though for us. Like majority of the stores in the Philadelphia or greater Philadelphia area just really haven't committed to the game, and it's not for a lack of trying from our end. Like I'm constantly trying to push the different stores to try and work with them, to try and fire events. And yeah, it's just been difficult in all honesty to get the game going in Philadelphia.
Yeah. We have a few LGS here, and one of them is kind of like that. Well, it started off, I wouldn't say strong, but like decent. You know, we would get like 12, 15 people on it, and then slowly but surely it went to like 8, and then it went to 6, you know, and then now there are some nights where there's 4. But there's one on like the center of the city where you can always like for sure get like 16 to 20 people, which is a good weekend thing for me. I enjoy that. You know, it's no like big tournament, but I enjoy going there, and I get to play. Some people play meta decks, of course, and I get to like experiment and bring other decks because as much as I can, unless it's a big tournament, I won't play meta because I want to enjoy the game in many different ways, because there's a lot of decks that I feel like are not being tested because like everyone obviously can't afford like all the cards, and I think eventually I'm gonna be in that position where I don't have all the cards and I have to commit into 1 or 2 meta decks, but for the most part, it's a lot of fun, and the people are friendly, and I really hope that every single LGS in the world will get that. But right now, it's actually still too early, you know.
Yeah,
and I feel
think
like
it's tough. Like, I think what people don't understand is that there's a lot of games out there right now, you know, like,
Yeah.
and we're still in infancy, in all honesty.
Yeah.
So like, if you have an LGS that's saying, okay, I have Friday Night Magic, I have Yu-Gi-Oh, I have Pokemon, I have Flesh and Blood, I have One Piece that has been massive, you know, like
Yeah.
way bigger than people thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And then that's like not even including like Digimon, and then you have Star Wars Unlimited coming up. Like you have so many games. Like there's just so many that not every LGS is going to be able to commit to saying, "Hey, I can give you guys 4 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday." Like, so it's really just an acceptance thing of going like, listen, they already have a system that works, and it's hard to prove to bring in something new to make the system either continue to work or worry that it breaks. So it's really, really difficult, I think, for most LGSs right now.
Yeah, I do agree with that. In our LGS, I think one of the things that works with us is like having communication in the actual like Discord or Facebook groups. They would usually have that, and then we would invite people every time they go, and then eventually we had a good amount of people for that. But like that can be tough. Like what you said, some LGS are already comfortable with what they have, and I've been hearing this in a lot of places as well, that like some LGS would even like already like call Lorcana dead, and it's like it's so weird, you know, like it's just so weird. Like
I mean, it's insane, but
in a way, in my head, they're probably saying that because they want you to play a different card game. Like they want you to do that. Like,
if you're in their store and their store is gun ho about a specific thing, like they want you to stay in their store and spend money, and they want you to do what they're doing. They're not really looking to make it affordable or like fit you. Like they're just trying to make a business. Like they're just a business, right? So that's really what you got to look at.
And that's why some of them don't care about like building a community. They would amp the price because they know the people wanted it so bad on the first couple of sets that people are selling it for double the price. You know, it's ridiculous. Yeah,
easily.
And Scott, I won't judge you, but I kind of will. I hope you didn't double, triple your prices online when you were selling them.
No, we never resell product. We never resell boxes. We opened everything. We sold singles. That's good. Also, I noticed as well that there are a couple of online stores now that's selling it for much cheaper. Not just the first and second set, but like the pre-orders, because I pre-ordered mine. Usually it's 120 for the box, 120 pounds. I got mine for 98 tonight, and I'm like, that's pretty sweat. That's awesome. That's what it is.
Yeah. But the sealed event that I'm going to, though, it's still the regular price. It's still 120. But yeah, that's exciting. All right, so Let's do a couple of segments before we start talking about some of the new cards and set 3, because that's basically where the hype is right now. I want to get to know you guys a bit more through some questions through these segments. So we're gonna do a ban the card segment. You guys both have 10 seconds to answer, and I'm gonna name an ink, and you guys name a card that you guys want banned in that ink. All right.
No,
So are you guys ready?
Sure.
We're gonna start with Amber. 10 seconds go.
Amber? I don't think I would ban anything in Amber.
Do I have to
that
pick?
option.
You
yeah,
have
do I
to. You have to.
I have to pick one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Everyone loves Amber. No one hates
Lilo.
Amber. I can see that. Yeah.
Man, it's tough.
Yeah. I don't think anything's bannable in Amber.
Yeah.
I guess I'd ban Stitch Rockstar if you actually put me down.
Stitch
Not
Rockstar.
bad. That's not a bad
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually people would pick like something like Rapunzel.
Nah, she's
when
fine.
When it comes to that.
She has
Yeah.
she has enough problems on her own. She's fine.
I have a lot of love for Amber as well. Like even when I ask myself this question, I can't think of one that I would actually want to.
I'd go with Lilo because Lilo is probably the most offensive card.
Yeah, yeah. You see that in turn 1, you're like,
Yeah, it's just like if your opponent doesn't have answers, you're just like, oh, that's 6 lore. Cool.
yeah. All right. Amethyst. 10 seconds. Go.
Fox.
Goat.
Nice. Yeah. No. Yeah. Those 2 cards are pretty harsh. Emerald. 10 seconds. Go.
Lucifer.
Yes.
Prince John.
Okay. So let's just kill the full discard meta that's about to come.
Yes.
It's no fun playing. It's fun playing it, but it's no fun playing against it. I don't enjoy it at all, and I'm scared. But they released this card from Steel though that I think is gonna fully shut down. What do you call this? Discard Steel again, because they have more pingers now and more damage and stuff.
Yeah, but all your guys have wards, so you don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
They
Well,
don't even care.
yeah, but when they flood the board with like 10 million characters, and then you have a Bucky and a Prince John there, they're just sitting there. It's like, what do we do now?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
All right, now we're going to Ruby. 10 seconds. Go.
Be prepared. I'd still ban it.
Maui.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Maui and Be Prepared. Be Prepared is the most famous answer so far. Sapphire. 10 seconds. Go.
Fishbone Quill.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good call.
Yeah, Fishbone Quill. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Steel. Go.
Grab your sword.
Let the storm rage on. I don't know.
Okay. I'm surprised no one said A Whole New World.
Oh yeah, no, we weren't even thinking. Yeah,
That one.
That's the right answer. Actually.
That's the.
I was literally moving my mouth. I'm like,
Yeah.
A Whole New World.
That's the right answer. That's
Definitely the right answer.
Yeah.
That's the right answer.
As an aggro player, though, I agree with you, Scott. I hate grab your swords. I love playing aggro, and lately I haven't been playing aggro because like it's just so sad that there's Steel Sapphire, Steel Amethyst, Steel Amber everywhere you go.
Steel Emerald. Keep going. It's fine.
Steel Emerald as well. Yeah. Steel Ruby though, I haven't like really seen a lot of Steel Ruby. I think there are some spicy things that you can do with it.
If it exists, it plays grab your swords. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll have to-
Well, I have Ursula now, so I'm just
you
kidding. Those are some pretty good answers, I would say. Except for Steel, I can't believe no one remembered a whole
No, it's
new
totally
world.
the right answer. There's not even a debate.
Yes, it's the right answer.
It just went blank.
Yeah.
All right. So now we're gonna go to another segment. This one is you have 10 seconds as well to answer, and this is your favorite card segment. So there's 5 questions. We're gonna start with your favorite character to play.
Tinkerbell, Great Fairy.
Ariel, Spectacular Singer.
Okay. Now favorite character art.
Ooh,
Oh,
character art?
Maleficent Monstrous Dragon for me.
I actually really like Han's Scheming Prince.
Yeah,
I really love that artwork.
that's a green
I love
one,
the
right?
foil too. Yeah, the
Yeah.
emerald one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The emerald. Yeah. All right. How about your favorite enchanted card? You cannot say the new Stitch that's coming out, that's a surprise for LGS, because we all know we all love that.
Yeah. I really like Arthur, Wizard Apprentice.
Okay.
I really just like the Elsa, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I just think it's really great looking.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think there's one art so far with the enchanted that I'm put off.
I can name a few.
Yeah.
What would be the one that you
I
think
don't.
with
I do not like Rogue Mickey like at all. I'm not a fan, and I really don't like the Pete either.
the Pete? I thought the Pete was pretty cool. Like
Maybe I just don't like emerald cards. I don't know. It's possible I don't like emerald cards.
I don't like the Maui. I don't like the way he's like leaned in.
I
don't
like
like the-
Maui.
I don't like
It's
the
like
Maui.
he's like coming out of the card. I dig it.
All right. So the next one is your favorite song. Whether to play, whether it's the art or just a bunch of different factors that made it your favorite song card.
I have to go with Let It Go.
Let it go.
Friend on the Other Side, I guess for me is the one I played the most. Besides that, or Be Our Guest are the two I played the most.
You and everyone else playing
Right.
Friends on Their Side.
Sure.
I mean,
Pot, you mean Pot Agreed?
Yeah,
Just kidding.
exactly.
whatever you want to call it, it's fine.
Now I do like the friends on the. I like both actually. Both was good. The art is good, and also like their foil version as well. It's so nice. I'm not gonna lie, the camera and any pictures don't do the foils any justice. Like
No.
for those people who are just like trying to get in, everyone has a negative opinion about it. They're like, it doesn't look any different, and I agree with them if you look at it from a picture.
I do think it depends on the ink colors. I think certain ink colors, like the cold foils, don't come across very well as opposed to others, though. In my humble opinion.
But in real life, though, I pretty much like every foil.
Sure.
See. Yeah, but in a picture, it doesn't do it any good. The last question is your favorite item card.
Item.
Pocket watch.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't seen that played since set one.
Still like it though.
Yeah. No. I was just like mentioning because like I actually forgot about the pocket watch. I thought the pocket watch was really strong, like at least on set one.
Yeah. If Fox ever goes away, it'll be good again. Don't worry.
If it goes away.
Yeah.
Oh, was that your pick as well, Scott? Sorry.
no, I think Popsicle is actually my favorite. Because
Yeah.
it's just so efficient, and like I actually like using it for its like healing ability every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's just so versatile. Like even if you don't have the cards to combo with it, that I just really like that card. I like the way it's designed.
Yeah. I came across a heal deck before that ran that and ran a bunch of heals with what's his name? Grandma Pobby?
Grandpappy.
Or Grandpappy.
I've Grandpappy bombed a couple games this set. It's fun.
Nice. I've always wanted to try it, but I've never got into experimenting with it. But yeah, I got my ass kicked though by it. So
There you go.
I'm a big fan of Art of War, Sun Tzu,
Yeah.
and he always
Yeah. No, it's. Oof. I trust me. I saw it and I was like, okay, all right, I see you. I got respect.
He always reminds me not to underestimate my opponents. But when I
man.
see a Grandpappy deck, and I play with it, I don't show it. But inside my head, I'm like, you're memeing me right now. You're memeing me. And that's when I get my ass kicked because I broke the one of the advice in Art of War. And the moment you break the rules of Art of War is the moment you will lose. And never underestimate your opponent. It doesn't matter. Even if they're running the Mari in their deck, do not underestimate.
Every battle is won before its fault.
Yep. All right. So now let's get into set 3. Let's talk about set 3.
Okay.
First of all, I wanted to ask, is there a title still that you guys haven't seen that you want to see come into set 3?
Encanto. In set 3. It's not coming in set 3, but Encanto is the number one thing that I need to see in Disney Lorcana, and it needs to be like as soon as possible.
Yeah. That was on the intro. I know you like Frozen and Encanto. Nice. Yeah. How about you, Scott?
For me, it's Bambi. I know, like I love the little animals so much that that's what's missing for me.
All right. I actually just tweeted about Tarzan. I'm like, where's Tarzan? Like,
I saw that.
Like, you would think that like that's gonna be like one of like the very first like cards or like one of the first 3 sets, because like I don't know, like for me like it was huge growing up, or at least like where I grew up, like Tarzan was a big a movie.
Well, I guess that just talks to the IP though, right? Like if they can make 3 whole sets and not even mention some of these like core memories, if we're being honest here, right? Like that's crazy. Like when you think about it, like that's insane. So I think that just speaks to like the true depth of which they could design from.
Yeah. That's very true. I can't wait. Any card that you want to see like from the existing IPs or the existing titles that they already brought us? Any card or character from those titles that you want to see?
I want Floodborn Olaf. That's what I want.
Okay. All right. Floodborn Olaf.
I need it in my life. It needs to be like just like Marshmallow, but just Olaf. Like, and I'm totally fine with that.
Okay.
All about it.
For me, it's a Floodborn Simba. I want to finally get one.
Yeah.
It's like so many other big. It's Floodborn Simba or Floodborn Ariel. Like a lot of the other big characters from like when I was big into it have been Floodborn, and those ones haven't. So
nice. I'm still waiting for Mole. Just like a storyborn Mole, because they already showed like pretty much the whole crew in Atlantis by now, and Mole is the only one missing. I'm like, where's Mole? Like I love Mole.
Probably show up.
I do really
There's
like
still
this.
100 cards left to show.
I know. I'm very excited, and I really like how they added these Floodborn and Dreamborn cards too. It just like it expands the whole universe, and like the art is really cool too. And yeah, I'm excited. Any songs that you guys wanna see come into set 3?
In set 3?
Yeah. Anything that you
God.
guys loved growing up that's not there
probably,
yet?
I'd probably go Circle of Life is like the easy answer.
Yeah. Is there an Under the Sea yet? Or is that
No?
that right? Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, there's no Under the Sea.
That's the title of the song too, right? It's Under the Sea. Yeah.
Under the Sea. Yeah.
How come they don't have Under the Sea yet? Like that kind of blows my mind.
I mean, like when you really think about it, like there isn't that many songs. And on top of that, they've already taken like parts of a song and made it like a song. So they like it's like even like Moana the other day with the He Calls Me. Like that's not the name of the song.
Yeah.
So,
like the Storm Rage On, like that.
That's not the name of the song. It's just there. So yeah.
Ursula 1 2 is not the name of the song either.
Right.
Yeah.
But definitely for future Surface Pressure from Encanto, I think is going to be that's the one that we need. I'll also sing it most just like how I sing Let It Go like every single time I play it. I'll sing Surface Pressure every time I play it.
I don't know the lyrics for it, so I can't like sing it, but like I like the Frozen 2 song as well.
Oh, Into the Unknown?
Yeah, Into the Unknown.
Yeah.
I like that
for
too.
Sure.
Yeah,
I think
they should
that's
add
catchy.
That. Yeah.
What's that? Panic at the Disco does the cover. I'm all about it.
Oh, I've never heard the cover. I'll check it out after this. Yeah, I do.
It's
like
a good
them.
one. It's a good one. It's a good cover.
Yeah. I'm waiting for I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorite, because I love rock and roll growing up, and like that's probably like one of the closest thing to like a rock song. Well, it's an alternative rock song. Yeah. And I like that.
I can't think of too many others. Yeah.
Yeah. What card so far that's been revealed are you guys like mostly interested with?
Probably Lucky Dime for me. I really like what that has to offer for the item package. I like what it has to offer, honestly, to the game in itself.
Yeah.
I think it's a nice closing way to win games, which I think is pretty sweet.
It's also the very first legendary non-character item.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah. How about you, Scott?
For me, it's a Motunui, the location.
Okay.
Because it just gives your, like, if you draw these lower strength, lower cost characters like in the middle of the game, you can still do something with them, which is like move them right there, challenge something, and then just ramp yourself up by doing damage and just getting his ink. So I think that card for me has the most potential.
Nice.
Of what I've seen.
And you guys don't have to just pick one card. Like tell
the easy
me,
answer.
I want to pick your brains.
The easy answer is the Forbidden Mountain. Have you seen that card yet? I mean, it's a pretty sweet card. So, first location revealed. It's pretty good.
I'm surprised you guys are not the one who revealed that. Like that,
I was pretty upset, but I was fine. It was the first one. It was still cool.
Yeah, they reached out to us right away and said, "Hey,
yeah, they did. They did. It was pretty funny. I did have a fun conversation with them.
I'm surprised like that didn't happen. But there's a lot of like what do you call this, legendaries that they've revealed so far. I know we talked about Lucky Diamond just now. Yeah, which one like stands out the most for you guys?
I think Jim Hawkins stands out the most for me. I think.
Yeah.
Just because it pushes what the theme of what they're trying to do in the set, and like being able to play a location for free and then move there for free. It's just so efficient.
Yeah.
That. I think it just really pushes what they're trying to do with locations, and I'm really excited for that.
Do you think there's going to be a super high cost location that they're going to release at least like a 6-7 cost location?
I don't think you can really go above like 5, because you're really just you're possibly just not doing anything immediately with it. I just don't think you can, unless it has like.
It would have to have like 5 lore.
Like
yeah.
It would. It would have to have like some ridiculous number, you know?
Yeah. A lot of lore, a lot of willpower. Like it would have to basically like just sit there and for a while.
Yeah.
And to spend an important turn, like mid-game turn, like that.
I mean,
even at 3 or 4, he's still worth it.
It's not to say that there couldn't be like a location that when it comes into play, it does something also, rather than just the like the movement.
Yeah. That's true.
Like it could be that, like it could just be like high lore. Like a sufficient amount of willpower. I'd say like at minimum it'd have to be 7 willpower if you're going over like 5 or 6, because you can't just like lose to Maui like all the other ones.
Yeah.
So like it has to like exist and stay. It has to be worth your like the cost at that level.
Yeah.
So I think it would likely have to do something when you play it.
But for me, how I feel about like the minimum willpower, I think it should be at least 10, because like most of the time by that time they would have built some tempo on the board now, and they would just one shot that on their turn. If you don't do anything on your turn with that, it's most likely going to die, especially if the fox still exists. And the snakes are still there. Do you guys think that this set will shake up the meta with what you've seen so far? I know like it's only been like 2 weeks since they actually started showing like the good cards. Especially this week, they've showed a lot of spicy cards. With what you've seen so far, do you think it's enough to change the meta?
Not with what I've seen so far.
50% of the set revealed. I don't think so. Not yet. I haven't seen anything that can match consistency of what Amethyst is doing right now in set 2. So
yeah,
I'm very hopeful. Like I am incredibly hopeful that we could see some true bangers on the other side of this 100 cards. But right now it doesn't look that way.
Yeah, that's true. I really want. I mean, technically, well, not technically. But Steel Song is mid range. But I want to like make some more like mid range decks that could be good in the meta. But also, one of the problems for me is that every time I make it, I always go back to, okay, I'm just gonna get owned by Ruby Amethyst, because the Ruby control just ruins mid range unless they have a tool like Steel Song figured it out. They're like, okay, if you're gonna completely dominate us, here's the flute tech. Now we can keep up with you. We can finish the game before we get to turn 12, turn 15, and
yeah.
But
That's a clock.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Pluto when it was announced, both the small one and the big one, and I'm like, that looks spicy. Even the reveals today, when I see Robin Hood, I'm like, that's a pretty spicy card. But if I don't have any tempo on board, I'm just gonna get Tremaine the next turn, and the spicy card is just gone.
Yeah.
And
no, it's scary, true, because I actually thought there was like a quite a bit of good SRTs revealed, which seems to be a really odd spot for rarity in the game. Like, we understand that legendaries are just like these unique different abilities for the most part for all like the legendaries in the game, but SRTs don't really have like a true identity. Like, they're just either like solid staples or just like really, really bad.
Really bad.
Like really, really bad cards. So today there was like a wide range of like SRTs, with Little John, who I think is very interesting. The Sheriff of Nottingham, I think, is very interesting. I think it's cool that we're finally seeing some like identity to like what they might be trying to do. But it is, for me, like the SRTs are such a weird rarity in the game.
Yeah. They did not a tweet, but they did a dev diary about it, right? Like, they're explaining like why they did that, which I am all for. But at the same time, like, we don't have to specifically make the card ultra megatonic or OP. Just give it like enough personality. Because I'm talking to the LGS chat today, and they're talking about that, like, all right, here's another legendary. Robin Hood just came out, and they're like, there's nothing unique about this card. Like, legendaries should have their own personality, and I agree with them.
I would say he's like similar to like BLT Mickey. Like, BLT Mickey was like the poster boy for Chapter 1, but he wasn't special. He didn't do anything unique or different, right? So it is. Those are probably some of the weaker options of what the legendary is supposed to be, as opposed to where like the Bugle Mickey Mouse revealed yesterday, or was it today? I don't even know at this point. There were so many cards revealed, but at least he was like different, or like I don't think the card's particularly good, but like Purple Maleficent. I'm saying the legendary Maleficent from like set 2, like at least that card's like different, like it's like it represents a new way to like interact with your own board and things like that. Like, I don't know. I just think that you need, if you're going to be creative, if that's what the legendary slot's for, then just deliver. That's all.
Yeah. I totally agree with you on that, because it's you have cards that are not seeing play that are legendary right now, but at least they have their own personality. Like, Gantu is pretty cool, or Namari. Namari is really, really like bad if you like think about it, like for now. But I think eventually, like it might find a place in the meta. But at least she's so unique. No one else does what she does.
Right. Right. Like like she is a card. Like she's like Pick a Fight is like, hey, if you want to do this, you have to literally play an uninkable action, not even a song. Like, it's like an uninkable action. So it's like, okay, it's similar to Elsa. Like Elsa, it's like, oh, you can play Elsa, but to get anything close to Elsa, you got to play an uninkable action. So it's interesting to see those cards like that.
Yeah. I hope that they definitely change that. Coming to this next set, what ink do you guys think would be the one that stands out? We all know that Amethyst stood out on set 2. Like, I feel like on set 1, the most that stood out for me was Amber. Like, it was pretty out there. There's many decks that you can play, from Steel Song to
I'd argue that I don't think there was any card that got more hype than A, Tinkerbell, and B, Belle herself. I thought those two cards were like the most hype cards of anything. Tinkerbell delivered, Belle didn't really deliver, but Amber as a whole was probably the most like complete for sure.
Yeah. And Amethyst was the one. Do you guys think that Emerald has a chance to become like that on the next set?
Still too many uninkables.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
Like throughout the curve, they just continue to just get uninkables. Like,
Yeah.
it's too
And it's
much.
like all of the 2-drops are inkable. So it's like, all right, I have
Yeah.
5 2-cost inkable 2-drops. That's great. But then the rest of your curve is like, well,
Yeah.
that's uninkable, and that's uninkable, and that's uninkable. It's just like,
Yeah.
what do you like? Can I just get some inkables in my curve, please?
Yeah, I really feel bad. That's why I mentioned that. If you think that Emerald has a chance of being that this season,
I mean,
but
it definitely
just-
gets better. Like, there's no doubt about it. But it still needs. I still think it needs help. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
we're there yet.
I definitely agree. I think it's the weakest out of all the colors. It's more of like a splash if you
Right.
even play Emerald. Any prediction of which ink you think would be the one that stands out the next?
So far, I think Ruby stands out the most to me. With Jim Hawkins, with Voyage, and with the Aerial, I think is really good. The one that can turn any song into you can fly.
Even
Yeah,
that Peter Pan today is pretty
Peter
good.
Pan today is really good.
yeah.
Was there wasn't any Floodborns yet, right? Was there in Ruby yet? Oh, the
Um,
Moana, I guess.
Mm,
She's
See,
not
I
that
can
good.
I can check right now. I do have it
yeah, I
in
think it was Moana.
front
Oh,
of
yeah.
me.
I don't
Oh yeah,
think
yeah.
there's
The
anything
Moana
else.
is Floodborn. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Moana is Floodborn. What did you do again? Whenever this character
Yeah.
quests at a it's another location one. Okay.
It readies your princesses, right? Like does it ready
everybody.
everything at that location?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever this character quests while at a location, ready all characters here.
At that location. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
how many characters can we put in a location?
as many as you can
many as
afford.
want.
Oh, thanks. So you can literally play Jim Hawkins and then spam Voyage and put everything in that location. Damn.
Yeah.
That I actually didn't know that. I thought there's
Yeah, it's
like
the
a
same-
limit.
It's the same with like all the little locations that have 1 move cost in Map of Treasure Planet. Like it costs 0 to move to them, so you can move all of your characters to it.
Yeah.
At once.
This
Yeah.
is exciting. Do you think a location's gonna be meta next?
I mean, I'm telling you right now, I hope so. Like I really do hope so, because anytime you bring in a new mechanic like this, you kind of like flip a coin, and it's like
Yeah.
either it's going to be great or it's going to fall short. And right now we have pieces that make it look like there's something there, but I still feel like we're missing the key factor. And I think the key factor is we need more cards similar to the Peter Pan that's revealed, that like when he moves he does something.
Yeah.
I just feel we just need more cards that interact when they move to locations to make the cost of locations to move to them feel better.
Yeah.
And I still think we're gonna end up probably needing some form of bodyguard for locations. Like if you just play your locations and like they can't defend themselves and they don't really end up doing anything, they're kind of just gonna miss the whole point, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's gonna leave like a good feeling for people. It's like,
Yeah.
like the whole point of this is to be different, but if like all I'm doing is putting a card into play sideways and then my opponent just rushes in, removes it, and I don't really get to do anything, like what did I really accomplish other than time walking my opponent, you know? Like it's just
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's a weird scenario.
Yeah.
I hope that we just get some truly incredible cards with locations in the other half of the set. I really want them to be good. I really do.
I like what you said there, like a card that protects locations. Like
Yeah.
a bodyguard, specific
Just-
bodyguard for locations.
100%. We need several of them, to be honest. Like
Yeah, we need a whole. Yeah.
like we need like a brand new keyword to come into the game that does that.
Well,
Like, really.
we have a lot of cards that are not revealed yet. Also, like I go ahead.
That's like it's weird because like people don't realize this. There's only like 4 singers in the game. You know, like that's like a keyword that's in the game, and there's only like 4 of them, maybe
Yeah.
5 if I'm forgetting one of them. But like that's just funny to think like they could still reveal an entire keyword for set 3, and it might only be on 3 cards, but it's like, oh well, whatever. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
like that's the way they built their game. So
I want silence mechanic to be there.
sure,
No singing. No singing.
yeah, just take it away.
Yeah, just
Just
take it away.
everyone's human Ariel. Just, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's something I'm looking forward to. I feel like set 3 is more of like introduction for locations. I don't I really want it to be meta, at least like at the very least I want it to be tier 2. So it's playable. It'll see some plays. Kind of like item right now. I don't think item is the ultra megatonic deck is for me there's only 2 ultra megatonic decks, and people might hate me for this because they might not be playing it, but it's Ruby Amethyst and Steel Song. Those are the top tier dogs. Everyone else is at below it, and
the data will tell you you're right, so it's okay.
yeah, true. And popsicles, I feel like the item mechanics is there, but it's not complete yet. But then again, on set 3, it might actually pop off with all these other item synergies that we're looking at. Yeah, so we're about to hit the 1 hour. I don't really want to. There's so much things that I really want to talk about, like with every guest that I have, but I try to keep it like 50 minutes to an hour when it comes to talking. I feel like I'm taking so much of your guys' time. So I think my last question would be, what do you guys think of the competitive scene for Lorcana moving forward with the circuit? Do you guys think that it's gonna pop off? I know it's too early, but we can make some kind of like just some predictions on how it's gonna be. You obviously played a lot of TCGs in a super ultra megatonic competitive level, and I think you definitely would have a juicy answer, at least for this. I want you guys to be honest. What do you think about? Obviously, we're hoping for it to be good, right? But what do you think so far with the competitive scene? Should they change anything? Should they keep the way it is in order for it to pop up? What do you think?
Go ahead, Scott.
I think it's going to do really well because based on what I've seen with like the promo cards now, if you're just going to throw more of that into it, and that doesn't cost the company anything to give out like really expensive, high value prizes. They don't have to be cash tournaments, etc. I mean, we went to a tournament last week just for cash that had 128 players, and that's like without giving out promos to everybody that shows up, and without like an incentive like that, and not really like, and it's pretty ultra mega competitive considering like, you know, you were winning all these cash prizes and stuff like that, and it was only in one area, it wasn't totally sponsored. We talked to plenty of people that are like, yeah, once there's official OP, I'm gonna go, and we're still getting over 100 people to show up, over 125 people to show up for an event. For like a third party. So once you have the first party organized play, I think it's easy to say that a lot of people are going to show up. I think these store championships with the stitches and the playmats are going to be, those stores are going to be full, in my opinion. If they happen where like they're not all in one day, like, you know, let's just say it's like April or May is store championship 1 for Rise of the Floodborn Championships or whatever it's called. Like, and you can have a tournament anytime in April, anytime in May. If you have like 5 to 10 within your driving distance that you can go to, I think there's going to be like easily 60 to 80 people at every single one of these. And you're telling stores they don't have to spend. You're providing the prizes. All you have to do is provide like a great atmosphere, a great location, and like a welcoming environment for everybody involved. I think it's a no-brainer, and stores like should be able to really push these events for themselves and just see what the community's like, and from there it only grows. So I'm very hopeful for it.
Nice. Yeah, I do agree with that. Super excited. If I can get my hands on that stitch, I'm gonna get it graded and then put it on a lanyard. I want to wear that on every single LGS event that I go to.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Also, Pokemon doesn't really have any cash prize until you get to like the world championships, and I think everyone would agree that they have a super healthy circuit going on,
Yeah.
and you can always just sell the boxes that you win, right? Like you win like 20, 30 of them, like that's a lot of money. Like,
I think I personally think that it's better to not necessarily have cash prizes. Like I think it's better to have these trophy-esque prizes, like these things that you can show off, like you said. Like if that's what you're into, right? You want to get your card graded, put it on a lanyard, show up to an event, and be like, "Yep, I won this." Like the playmats they gave away at the conventions this year, like those Gen Con and those PAX Unplugged playmats, like that's a trophy that you can put on the table and say, "This is my accomplishment in the game."
yeah,
I think those things are like invaluable. I think they're great. I think they're cool. I understand that like they're a highly sought after collector's item as well. So if you want your money, it'll be there. So like whatever type of player ends up winning it has the ability to do with it however they see fit.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that it's a great position to be in. I think it's a good way to start. I do think that it's likely in the first 6 months it still doesn't truly pick up. I think that like this season for me, like the season of set championships might be like a little rocky to start, but I have a feeling that as long as it is successful, as long as nationals works out and worlds works out, that like next year this time it'll probably be like triple or quadruple the size of this year.
Yeah. Definitely. This first one is important for setting the tone. It's not necessarily the one that's gonna pop off. I think if there's one, it would be the second or the third year of it.
A lot of word of mouth has to come from all of this.
Yeah, and I feel like they haven't really fully like went down to advertise and market this game. There's so much more room to do that. And
not even a little bit have they tried that.
yeah, and I'm excited once that happened. Now, this will be my last question. What about like the format of the match? So right now, we have one deck that we play, and usually it's blind when we go into it. And do you think that should be the way that we should move forward? Do you think that we should add side decks? Do you think we're gonna do multiple decks like other card games do? Do you think it should be a best of one or best of three? Because I know in Japan, Pokemon, that's how they do Pokemon. They do best of one. And yeah, well, are you guys happy with the way things are, or do you think that there should be some addition or changes that they should do?
I know that we're kind of weird and we don't mind best of one. As long as the tournament is structured to represent best of one, which is normally Swiss +2, so you add 2 rounds to kind of like make up for the difference. I'm totally fine with best of one. I do not want to see multiple deck formats in this game. I think it's asking players way too much. I think it's fine if you have a tournament. Like if in the future, if we get to a structure where it's like, hey, this set is legal, and then in the next portion of the tournament is like another set that's legal. So like in this example, let's just say you play a chapter 1 deck with all chapter 1 cards, and then in the next portion of the tournament, like it's 4 rounds of that, and then in the next 4 rounds is only chapter 2 cards. Like if you did something like that, it's like that's okay, because then you're just like you're planning for different portions. I don't like the idea of like sitting on a table, flipping my deck up and saying choose one of these for me not to play. That's not something that I'm not too interested in. Sideboards, I'm indifferent. Like if they exist, awesome. If they don't exist, awesome. Like I really believe that the deck building is the most unique part of any game. So if you don't have a sideboard, you just have to make more unique decisions in your first 60 cards. But I will agree that like making a sideboard leverages more use for other cards, which is nice. So like there's just more like playable cards in general. But I think I'm pretty cool with like whatever really ends up happening. Like I'm definitely like a free flow kind of person. But I think that the best of one is a very good tournament setting for newer players, because it's just like it's a quicker paced environment. Everything keeps moving forward. It goes faster. I know at like the end of our event the other day. It was like 8 rounds, and it was like a 9 to 5 day. It was like basically like a normal work day, and there was a lot of people that were like, "Oh, I didn't get to eat lunch. I get to that." Like, it can be difficult at that high level of play. So it's like if you wanted to make it kinder or nicer, the best of one is a better environment for that.
Yeah. I do like best of one as well. One of the things I like both. I enjoy both.
Yeah, I don't care either way. Like, I'm not particular. Like, I'm here to play whatever the rules are. Like, like that's the rules. That's the rules.
Yeah. The only thing that I like about best of one is that you can have the element of surprise, because I feel like on that's where like hard staple metas happen when it's like a best of 3, because then if they lose the first game, they know exactly what you're playing now. You don't have the element of surprise now, and they will like just play and mulligan for that. Yeah. And also I feel like aggro on best of 3 is so weak. It's just so easy to play against. It's like you might lose the first round. The next 2 rounds, aggro has such a hard time playing, because now they know exactly what to do. It's they get all their 1 drops, 2 drops, and 3 drops on their mulligans. And and
then like outside the game, best of one actually does give you, especially like when you're traveling to these cities, right? We're going on these, like, we're talking about going on world trips here. Like, best of one is a shorter tournament frame, so you actually can enjoy the city that you're going to. You can enjoy the people you're with. You can enjoy all that extra time for those live podcasting we're gonna do this year at some event somewhere in the future. Yeah. Like, it really is like an afforded time that when you just take away the competitive for a little bit and just go, hey, it's okay. Like, if I can do all of these other things and truly embrace and experience the setting that we're in, I'm all for it, to be honest.
I'm all for that too. I love traveling, and I've been in multiple different places of the world, and I still am planning to keep on traveling. I have a baby coming in soon, so
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, that will probably slow down the next 2 years of traveling. But other than that, like when I go to different places, or I plan to when I compete for Lorcana or just attend an event, I definitely want to go around and test or not test, but like taste their food. Right. I love food. I love
hell yeah. Yes, I'm all about it, man. That's part of the reason to go.
Yeah, and go into places too, because like earlier before we started the event, we were talking about Scotland, right? And you were like, "What is how is it like there?" I know I only spoke about the weather, like everything is good, but the weather is terrible. But the good part, you guys would love. Like if you go over here, the history is so rich. Living in California, everything that I've seen is like 50 to 100 years old. When I went here, I went to a place called Loremeisters. It was a beautiful lake, and there was an old church / graveyard, and everything there is around like 1200s, and there's like this giant like burial, a Norse or Nordic burial with runes on it, and I'm like, bro, like. I thought these are all just like myths. I just awesome. Watched this in the TV, I didn't know it actually existed, and like seeing that was pretty awesome. And I think like for you guys, you're travelers, and it was on the intro, and that's like one of the things that popped out for me. Yeah, I totally agree with like being able to go around like that. But I already held you guys here a little too long. So again, thank you very much for
thank you so much for having us. I had a blast.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you guys did, and I hope that we can do this someday in one of the tournaments, and we can do a live podcast. Maybe with other creators too. I think that would be a great time. But is there anything you wanna say to the viewers before we end this? I mean, let me actually start by, first of all, click the description below. Their links are gonna be there. Click their links. click that follow, subscribe, all those good stuff to show love and support for our guests tonight. I can't believe I haven't said it at all. I was having a great time with our conversation.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's all good.
Do that now, everyone. Now, other than the plugins, is there anything you guys want to say to the audience for tonight's episode?
Yeah, Dan.
Thanks for having us on. A lot of fun. It's always fun doing these things. It's definitely a different experience getting the conversation, getting the love. I love doing these stuff. So thank you so much for having us. If you're new to us, you don't know who we are, you can check us out in the description below. We are the Forbidden Mountain. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for tuning in with this week's episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed everything we just talk about. And don't forget to comment down below if you agree with the stuff that we just discussed, or just leave an emoji. Tell me who's your favorite, Scott or Dan.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm just memeing. But I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace, everyone.
See ya.
All right.
That's funny.